Let's piss around with Pinot. I have got 6 wonderful Pinot Noirs. Fred, you are going to take me around the world in my plane, and we're going to be tasting wines from France, from Chile, from even England, and everywhere in between. Okay, let's get rid of that crap. Pinot Noir is a thin-skinned grape variety. They call it the heartbreak grape, and it makes a load of shit. If you want to get ripped out the arse on spending too much money on bollocks wine, spend it on Pinot Noir. But in amongst all of that mess, there are some really, really great wines. So we're going to start in Burgundy. So here we've got Louis Jadot's Burgundy. It's a big brand. It's one of the staples of Pinot Noir in the English supermarkets. So the wines are light in colour. Let's have a look. Light in colour. And you will be able to smell red fruit. In all of these wines, regardless of where they come from, the principal fruits are strawberries, cranberries. It's why we love it. And here we've got exactly that. The difference between all these wines is the ripeness of the fruit. So it's the climate that they come from. Here, Burgundy, in it goes. Let's have a little slurp. And what I love about that, it has balance. So when you get a wine, whether it's Pinot Noir or anything, from a cool climate, you get balance, which is acidity, fruit, and tannin. Now, Pinot Noir is a great variety that has really light tannin. That is a fabulous wine, really great with food. I'm gonna pop that in the spittoon, otherwise I'm gonna be well pissed by the end of this. Right. Now, it's about 20 quid a bottle, that. And sometimes you don't wanna spend 20 quid a bottle, you wanna spend more like 8 quid a bottle. And this, people, is a fantastic wine. Fred's popped me in a plane and taken me over to Romania via Waitrose. So Romania has a slightly hotter summer climate and cooler winter climate. And we've just got a bit more intensity there. So it jumps out of the glass, has a little bit of scream at me and says, I'm cranberries and I'm strawberries. And I really want to go in your gob. So here we go. So that's more continental climate, hotter summers, colder winters, and what that wine has is a bit more juiciness to it. And anyone who wants to get into Pinot Noir and start discovering whether you like this grape variety, that is a very, very good place to go. Really, really fabulous wine. And then those of you who've already tried Pinot Noir might think, oh, we're gonna go and upgrade a little bit and we're gonna go to California. And here we've got a brand, Bread and Butter. It's about 15 quid a bottle, 15 to 18, depending on where you shop. It's their 2023, and what you do when you get to California, you get a bit hotter. The heat goes up and the juiciness goes up, which is even lighter. So it's lighter in colour, but it's bigger in booze. It's 13.5% here, so we're creeping up. And what we should get from a Californian Pinot is much more juiciness. Should we go even more juice? As with all fruit, when you give it a load of sunshine, it gets riper. So the sugars go up, the acidity goes down, and the juiciness gets bigger. I don't like that wine. Well, that wine is as flat as my flip-flops with a bit of dog shit on. It's really not a nice wine. There's loads of rich, sweet, slightly sickly, overripe red fruit. See, that's what happens when you go wrong with Pinot Noir. Now, moving on, we can go from a big brand, Bread and Butter, down to our little shop, Tesco's, that little shop, spend 16 quid in Chile, and when you spend money, oh my God, that's got a punt. I could ram my whole in there. So, right, that's 20 barrels connoisseur Pinot Noir. It's 16 quid a bottle. Chile is famed for producing wine that's quite cheap, but actually, when you spend quite a bit of dosh in Chile, I think you get something really special. Should we find out? This is 20 barrels because they pick their best 20 barrels. Aging things in barrel is what they do after the fermentation. And what it should give to the wine is a little bit more spicy, a bit more complexity, a bit more interest. I've got that woomph of spiced strawberry. It's like someone stuck a strawberry straight at me right nostril and maybe a raspberry in the other. It's very intense. I like that. Oof. And that I could only describe as a big old bastard. You wouldn't want to get in a fight with that. Oh, it's 14%. And actually, if you look, the colour is more intense there. And it is a big gobful of juicy, ripe, fleshy, spicy Pinot Noir. Right, now we're going to go to Australia in Fred's plane. Here we go, chug, chug, chug. And we're in Elephant in the Room, Palatial Pinot Noir. Now, normally, any well-prepared Pinot Noir expert would have a New Zealand Pinot Noir in here, but that's for another channel. Here we've got an Aussie Pinot Noir. Australia makes some very, very good wines, and particularly down in the south, in sort of Mornington Peninsula, Tasmania kind of area, they make very good Pinot Noirs indeed. So I'm not expecting it to be as muscly as Chile or as sweet and juicy as bread and butter, but it's got a lovely bit of ripe strawberry to it. It's a very attractive, plush, juicy wine, and it makes me I would want to have a sip of this. And funnily enough, I am going to have a sip of this. It's a really beautifully juicy wine. It's clean, it's got nice red fruit, very little tannin. It's a banger of a Pinot. I love that. These two wines here are really great entry level, i.e. they're 10 quid or less than Pinot Noirs. You're gonna think I'm mad, but I'm gonna take you now to the UK. We're in Essex, Danbury Ridge, Pinot Noir 2022. English Pinot Noir was never a thing until quite recently. So this is about as cool climate as you can take Pinot Noir. So we can ripen it here just enough to get quite a dark wine. But when you go to a cool climate, which is what it's like here in the UK, you get very fresh acidity. So it's really zippy, crunchy red fruit. Rather than stewed red fruit, it's crunchy red fruit. And here we have it. A really delicious, crunchy, not fleshy Pinot Noir. So in a nutshell, that is Pinot Noir. Three things I think we've got to think about here is the fruits you get are red fruit. The tannins you get are low tannins, so they're really soft, elegant. And the third thing is, be careful what you buy, because if you spend a lot of money, particularly in Burgundy, on a Pinot Noir, I reckon 6 times out of 10, you're going to be disappointed. This one though, is an absolute banger. Louis Jadot's Pinot Noir, and that's what I'm going to be having a glass of, because I love it. It's 20 quid a bottle. Those of you who are new to Pinot Noir, you're going to be going into Romania, please, and Australia, please. And if you want to book a flight, talk to Fred. And meanwhile, I'm going to have a nice glass of Burgundy. Thanks very much. Enjoy your Pinot Noir.